Today's yin yang yoga class will be half yin yoga for flexibility and half yang yoga for strength. Hi, I'm Melissa from Yoga with Melissa. I offer real yoga for real people every Friday at 9 a.m. Pacific. And when you subscribe and press that little bell, we have some great classes coming your way in the next couple of weeks, including a restorative yoga for bedtime and also yoga nidra, sleep yoga for sleep. So be sure to subscribe and press that little bell. Thanks to Dusky Lee for our props. Today you're going to need some blocks. For the yin portion, it's nice to have an extra blanket folded underneath you, and that's all you're going to need. So let's begin by resting back in Shavasana. If you have any low back issues, keep your knees bent and your feet flat on the floor. You can take your feet wide as the mat and let your knees drop in towards each other. It's nice and grounding to have your hands on your belly. Feel the support of the earth underneath you. And let all the tension from your body release out and into the earth. Allow your breath to settle into your lower belly. So in this yin-yang full body stretch and strength yoga class, we're going to combine the best of yin and Hatha Yoga. And you might be wondering, what's the difference between yin and Hatha Yoga? So yin yoga is an advanced yoga practice, one that we practice mostly on the floor, where we allow time and gravity to do all of the work for us. The focus of yin yoga is on the deeper, denser, less pliant connective tissues that wrap around the joints and the bones. By allowing us to stay with long holds in 3 to 5 minutes, keeping our muscles soft, we pull and pressurize the tissues to coax qi and blood through the joints, allowing them to be more strong and mobile. The yang portion of the class, on the other hand, the Hatha Yoga, focuses more on lengthening and strengthening the muscles. Ha means sun and Ta means moon. Hatha Yoga focuses on bringing balance into our body between the more active active hot energies and restorative hot energies. So therefore, you'll often experience the difference between a pose and a counterpose in a Hatha Yoga class. So that when you exert effort and work on one muscle, you'll often have a counterpose or you'll work on the opposite muscle. So let's come into our first yin pose. We're going to do wide knee child pose. So let me give you the alternative for that in case your ankles and knees don't like that. You're going to take wide knee, knees to chest instead. If that wide knee child's pose doesn't work in your body, hold on behind your knees, especially if you have knee issues. Otherwise, you're going to roll over and come up into wide knee child's pose. And just so you know, we're in a park and there's noises going on around us, and we're doing our best to keep them to a minimum for you. So in this yin pose, we want to be pulling and pressurizing the tissues on the insides of our legs so we can access the 6 main meridian channels of the lower body. So in the yin portion of this class, we're going to first focus on coaxing the qi and blood into the connective tissues that wrap around the hip joints. And we want to remember the 3 principles of yin yoga as we get started. So first is to find an appropriate edge. You want to find sensation, but not have the pose be sensational. So with any yin yoga class, you should never feel pain. The second thing is resolve to be still. Any movement brings the pose back up into the muscles rather than keeping it deep within the connective tissues. So it's the slow, gentle traction that allows us to access the deeper connective tissues. And the third thing is that we stay for a while. So when we hold the pose for 3 to 5 minutes, we allow time and gravity to do all the work. And just remember that time is way more effective than tension. Okay, so very slowly, very carefully, we're going to make our way onto our backs to just feel the rebound. And then from here, we're going to do half happy baby pose. So you're going to lie with your knees bent and your feet flat on the floor. We'll start with the right leg, drawing the right leg in, holding on to the bottom of the right foot, drawing the right knee towards the right armpit. Relax your shoulders, relax your jaw, soften your muscles. Okay, so you're slowly going to release this side, relax your body, and feel the effects of this pose in your body. Okay, from here we're going to do the other side. So both knees are bent. Going to bring your left leg in. Your left knee comes towards your armpit. Your left foot points up towards the ceiling at a 90-degree angle. If it's too much to reach, you can always use a yoga strap here. And I'll start the timer. Okay, so you're going to slowly release this side from your body, and we'll feel the effects of this pose. Feel the rebound. And then you're going to bend your knees and cross your right ankle over your left leg. Open your right knee out to the side. And we're going to draw your right knee into your chest until you feel sensation on the outside of your thigh and into your glutes. You can also do this one against the wall, where your left foot goes against the wall so that you don't have to hold it with your hands. Let your shoulders be soft, let your jaws unhinge, let your tongue float in your mouth. Okay, release this side. And keep your knees in this position. We're going to go into a twist like this. So all you're going to do is press into your left foot, pick up your hips, take them over to the right side of your mat, and drop your right foot to the ground. And if this bothers your body in any way, you could always do a reclined twist instead with your knees stacked instead. Okay? If the asymmetry of this bothers your body. So choose what version works best for you. This version allows you to be in a twist and also get into the connective tissue in your IT band. Okay, so you're going to come back center, press into your foot, unhook, and we're going to just feel the effects of the practice in our body before we go to the other side. You're going to cross your left ankle over the top of your right thigh. Draw your right thigh in, hold on behind your knee until you feel sensation in the outside of your left thigh and into your left glutes. And then we'll go into the twist. So you're going to lower your right leg down. If the asymmetrical twist with the knee bent bothers you, you can always do the knee to chest twist. Going to press your right foot into the ground, lift your hips, take them over to the left side of the mat, and then lower your left foot to the ground. Okay, and then come back to the center. You're going to come back to the center, untuck your hips, feel the rebound. And you're going to prepare yourself for the yang portion of the class now. So in the yang portion of the class, there are going to be no more long holds because we're going to move out of the connective tissue portion of the class into the muscles. So we would like to do the yin portion first while the muscles are cold, and then we move into the yang portion and we don't have the long holds anymore. Okay, so I'm going to roll up this mat, the second mat, the blanket, and see what is on the agenda next. Okay, let's do a downward facing dog to begin. So in this Hatha Yoga portion of the class, the yang portion of the class, we're going to be lifting our own body weight. If that's too much for you in downward facing dog, you can always do downward facing dog against the wall. And there's two ways we can increase our strength in yoga. Well, I'm sure there's more than two ways, but the two ways we're going to focus on are long holds again, not like 5-minute holds, but holding for longer, like maybe longer than 5 breaths, or repetition, like repetition of poses or rhythmic repetition, which keeps the pose more in your muscles than in the joints, like in yin yoga. Okay, so we're going to come forward from downward facing dog to plank. So you're going to roll your body weight forward onto your shoulders. Tuck your tailbone under so your body's flat as a board. And then you're going to come down onto your forearms in plank. And then we're going to do Samasana. So it's equal balancing pose. So what you do for this pose is you line up your body in a straight line, take your arm straight in that straight line, and you take your opposite arm straight up. Now this pose looks easy, but it's actually not easy. You have to use your core strength. So draw up your pelvic floor like a zipper up towards your navel, and take your arm straight up, and you look up. And it takes a lot of core strength to stay here. And then let's go over to the other side. So this time, check and make sure your body's in a straight line, your hips are stacked. And then you're going to take your arms straight up and look up. Draw your navel up. And then let's come over and we're going to work our way back up from the forearm plank to the downward dog, and then we'll come all the way up to standing. So keep your arms, you're going to be on your forearms, tuck your toes under, lift your knees. You could stay on your knees if you want to. And then you're going to walk up to your hands. And then you're going to tip your hips back so you come into downward facing dog. Very strengthening for your core and for your upper body. And then we'll walk our feet into our hands and make our way up to standing. Okay, from standing, we're going to do some poses to strengthen your legs and your core again. So I would like you to have a block, if you have one, for between your legs, just to help to engage your core. So take the block and place it between your inner thighs. And then you're going to lift and spread your toes, lengthen up nice and tall. Inhale, take your arms straight up. Exhale, you're going to sit back and hold. And then we're going to inhale, come up, and then we're going to just do some up and down to get the rhythmic action. So we'll exhale down and up. So inhale down, exhale up. And then you can put the block off to the side. And you're going to take a step back with your right foot. Take your hips to the long edge of the mat. Sink down through your front left sit bone. Open your left knee out to the side. You're going to lower your left elbow to your left knee. Circle your right arm around in front for side angle pose. And you can stay here, or you can extend your arm out. You're going to arc your arm up, come up, turn your toes face front, and you're going to circle your right leg out, sink down through your right sit bone, roll your right knee out, lower your right elbow to your right leg, circle your left arm in front. We'll hold here. You can stay here, or you can extend your arms out. And then arc up, turn your feet together. You're going to walk your feet in. And then we're going to come to downward facing dog, and we'll make our way back down onto our stomachs again. So inhale, reach up. Exhale, hinge forward. Step back to downward facing dog. And then you're going to lower yourself down and onto your stomachs. So for this back bend, for locust pose, you're going to take your hands down by the side of your body with your palms facing up. You're going to roll your shoulders back and up so they're in line with your back. And then you're going to lengthen your legs long until they reach off the ground and lift your chest up off the ground. For the rhythmic part, we can just pulse our hands up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Lift up. Okay, you're going to lower down. Take your hands underneath your shoulders. Push yourself up. Draw your knees up underneath you. Sink back onto your heels. Just a little child's pose or knees to chest to release your low back there. And then you're going to take your rolled up blanket and place it underneath your knees. Or you can unroll it underneath you, whichever you prefer. If you have back issues, this is a nice spot to put it. And we're going to come into Shavasana. So allow your body to receive your practice. Notice how you feel stronger and more spacious in your body. Okay, so you can continue to rest back and receive your practice in Shavasana. I'm going to sit up and read you a poem. This poem is called Meditation. It's a poem that I wrote. Passing through the gate of solitude, the noise of wind swirls all around. Settling in the ground of a different world, distraction still finds a way in. The doors open to a gentle field where time swells and thoughts dissipate. Attention settles in the expanse of the lower belly. Vastness and depth coalesce from beneath. Silence unfolds in spacious openness. The waters have stilled, and the horizon goes on and on. Breath seeps through the porousness of my skin, denying any sense of boundedness, resting in the space beyond all that comes and goes. Gradually allow your breath to deepen. Wiggle your fingers and toes. Bend your knees if they're not already bent. Roll to your side. Slowly make your way up to seated. We'll close out by gathering the fruits of our practice first into ourselves and then offering them out into the world with our mantra. With your left palm up and your right palm down, making space with breath and a sigh. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. May all beings be happy and free, and may the thoughts, words, and actions of my own life contribute in some way for the happiness and freedom for all. So give yourself a thumbs up for finishing the class. And if you like this class, then share it with your friends. And you know how much I love my fabulous finishers. So if you did make it all the way to the end of the class, then this was the perfect blend of strength and flexibility for me. And I have an amazing gift for you this week. So in the Northern Hemisphere, we're coming into summer here, and I know that it's a time that we're starting to think about vacations, and so I've planned the perfect yoga wellness staycation for you. So if you would like a 7-day yoga wellness staycation, then go to melissawest.com/staycation. It's 7 days, and it combines really great kind of at-home spa treatments, self-care things that you can do at home with a yoga class every day that pairs well with the self-care spa treatments. So go ahead and sign up for that, and I will send it directly to your inbox, and I think you're really going to enjoy that. So it's melissawest.com/staycation. Thanks to Squeeze Yoga Clothing for my clothes. Today I'm wearing Just Be bamboo top. And also I want to thank Carla and Donna for your donations. So sending you much love from beautiful British Columbia. May your joy be as deep as our Pacific Ocean. May you be as rooted as our old growth trees in our forest. And may you be as strong as our mountains. Om Shanti. Namaste.
Melissa would love to hear your questions and thoughts. Please leave your comments below the video. Thank you for your reviews on iTunes and YouTube. Your reviews help us to share yoga and a yoga lifestyle with others around the world. If you have a question for Melissa, you can leave a voice message at melissawest.com, and Melissa may answer it in an upcoming blog.